Hi, my name is Janasia. Sometimes I go by Jay, and welcome to my channel. Or if you're not new here, welcome back to my channel. So for those of you that don't know, I recently started nursing school this year, so I wanted to take you guys on that journey with me and update you guys throughout the way. So this will be my first video of my nursing school nurse series. We'll see what I decide to call it, but this is the first video for that. And this video is my recap of my first quarter or semester of nursing school. If you hear background noise by any chance, I apologize. They're watching a movie in the living room, and the surround sound is always booming. Like, you know, everybody's home for quarantine. Everybody's home for quarantine, so I can't tell them like, shut the fuck up. But okay, here we go. So I started an accelerated nursing program to get my associates in nursing. I decided to get my associates first just because it'll be way more faster for me right now, and then eventually, like when I work for a company, some companies, they will pay for your school like when you go back to school, so that's my plan. But yeah, my school is an accelerated nursing program, so it's not like your typical general nursing program. Everything is very fast, it's very content heavy. You need to have the time to do it. Like, they recommend you don't even have a part-time job. That's how intense it is. Yeah, and when I went to my orientation and they were telling me how intense and how much time it was gonna be and how much work, I'm just thinking, whatever, I got this whatever. And then I actually started nursing classes, and then I was just like, wow. I didn't know how I was gonna get through my first semester, honestly. Like, I remember my first day being so overwhelmed with so much just work to just figure out what I wanted to do or when I wanted to do it, how I was gonna manage my time. It was so much, like, I wanted to cry. But I was like, girl, it's the first day. Like, you can't be crying on the first day. You need to get it together. With that being said, I did not cry the whole semester, which is really good for me because I'm a freaking crybaby and I have about 3 meltdowns per semester. So, pat myself on the back. But yeah, my program is an accelerated program. I started January of 2020 and I should be done by March of 2021. And I would be with my associates in nursing, and then obviously I would have to go take my NCLEX after that. Now, a little bit about my program. Ooh. Oh, don't mind my just so extra makeup right now. Like I said, I am in quarantine, so there's not much to do, so I do my makeup when I'm bored. So yeah. But for my program, it's a quarter system. So how regular schools are by semester, we go by quarters. And our quarters are 11 weeks on and then 2 weeks vacation. And then it keeps going like that until you're done with your program. And I jumped in going straight into my nursing classes because I already had my prerequisites. Well, I had most of them. Well, no, I had all of them. But I had to retake chemistry because the chemistry that I took didn't come with the lab. Whatever. To pass nursing school, obviously you have to have all your prereqs and all that. But for the actual program, for all your core nursing classes, which that means like pathophysiology, pharmacology, like classes like that, you have to have a 78 average. If you have a 77.9, you will fail. Like, they're strict about that 78. And the 78 average, like you have to have a 78 average for all like the classwork that you did and just for that class in general, and you have to have a 78 average for all the tests that you take in that class. So say you have a 90% average in the class, but you have a 77% average for all your tests. I'm sorry, but you just failed the whole class, and now you have to take the whole class again because you missed it by a point. So you need to be on your shit. Like, you need to be studying. The information needs to be drilled into your brain, and you shouldn't be studying to just remember. You should be studying to understand, because if you're studying just to remember or anything like that, you're gonna fail. Because when it gets to like those critical thinking questions where it's not just a straight answer, like you have to think, like, what does hypernatremia mean? What does that do? What would that cause for other organs in the body, or like just stuff like that, you know? So you have to know what everything does, basically. Like, you can't just study to remember something, because that's not gonna help you at all. So for my first quarter, I ended up taking Introduction to Nursing, a physical assessment, and Pathophysiology. And I took chemistry, but that was like halfway into the quarter because it was only a 5-week course, and it was all online. So, and that's another thing. Some of your classes can be online and some of them can be like lectured. For instance, my intro to nursing class was online, and it was pretty easy for the most part. We would have like live lectures from time to time, not even like every week. We would have reading to do, obviously, and sometimes we would have quizzes, or we would just have papers to do, or a project or something. Or we were really big on discussions posts in like that online class. And that's pretty easy for the most part, you know, just working on time management for all of it. Pathophysiology was an intense class, to say the least. It was a lot of information. For that class, maybe you might want to go back and like go over your anatomy and physiology stuff, because you're definitely going to use it in there. Just a lot of medical terms to be familiar with them. That class was low-key like a little bit of a struggle. My teacher was amazing though, like anything to do with the teacher. There's just so much information to take in and to remember. Like for each week we would have a module to do. The module would probably have some type of reading, videos to watch, just more resources to help you understand the content. And at the end of each module, it would tell you like how long it should take you to do the module. Listen, I've had modules that have been from 8 to 20 hours. And that's one module. One module could take, it will say that it could take you up to 20 hours to finish. Okay, so when they say like you really need to be good with your time management and all that, you do. You're gonna have no life. Your whole life is going to be revolved around nursing and studying, which to be able to finish in less than a year, within a year, I feel like that's pretty good. Like, you can sacrifice the year, okay? Time goes by like that. But yeah, when I first seen that, I was so shook. I was like, 12 hours for one module? Like, who's gonna do that? Like, I'm second guessing if I even want to do this right now. But I did do it. I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes I didn't do all of the reading, which is not good. You want to get all of the reading, because for example, like the first couple weeks of nursing school, I was doing my reading And on my first patho test, I got a 90%. But I was like, okay, I got this, you know, some beauty and brains, you feel me? Then I got a little bit too comfortable and I gassed myself up and I stopped doing my reading. And what happened when I stopped doing my reading? My test grade definitely went down by a lot. I think I didn't do well my second test. Let's just make that clear. I didn't do well my second test. So since I didn't do well on my second test, obviously I had to have a minimum score of a 78, I want to say, or 77 to be able to have a 78 average for all of my tests and pass that class. And when I took my test, what did your girl get? I made the 78 or the 77, whatever it was. I like just hit it, so I just passed by the grace of God. But with pathophysiology, my teacher was really nice enough to give us study guides. They're not really supposed to or allowed to give us study guides, but this teacher did, and I'm forever grateful that she did, because if she didn't give us study guides, I honestly wouldn't even know where to start to study. Like, I'm still working on my study habits or what works for me, because I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to retain information without me having to do something that's hands-on. Like, I like to do hands-on learning. If I'm in a lecture or having to read and that's it, like, it's kind of hard for me to retain the information. But I try my best. The study guides are very helpful. If your teacher doesn't give you a study guide, then I would definitely recommend creating a study guide for yourself. And essentially for the study guide, just all of the main core information. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even want to tell you how to create a study guide, because I haven't had to create one yet, because my teacher, like I said, had one for me. But yeah, definitely look into that. I know I've seen a couple videos here on YouTube of people who create study guides, and they go into a little bit more depth of how to do that properly or in a way that will benefit you. Now, for my physical assessment class, it was half lecture and then half lab, or like clinical. Really, no, it was really lab, half lab. And in that lab, so we would do like a head-to-toe assessment or a neural assessment or anything like that. That's where we learned those skills. And we would practice on our partners, and then we would do like a skills check-off. So that was really kind of easy, because like I said, it was the hands-on learning. And once I do something and, you know, do it a couple of times, I'm gonna remember it. It's in my head, like, I got this, okay, I got it. So yeah, passed that class with an amazing grade. And in physical assessment, we didn't have tests in that class, so that was another thing that was really good. We just had like weekly quizzes, and those were just a little average of what our whole score was. Our main thing for that class was our skill checkoffs, so we had to make sure we knew what we were inspecting the body for, just, you know, stuff like that. The tests that I have to take for school, we have to do them on our computer online. Like, there's not a paper test or anything like that. It's, you log into whatever browser and you click the test and you take your test. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, oh, that's easy, you can cheat. Like, you can cheat on your test at home when you take it. I thought the same thing at first, but no, you can't cheat. So when you go to take your test, I don't know about anybody else's school, but in my school, there's like this browser that we have to log into, or app, whatever it's called, whatever. We have to log into it, click the test. When you click the test, basically your webcam on your camera records you while you take the test and records your background. So if you're cheating, they're gonna see you cheating and you will fail. So I advise you not to cheat. So yeah, just don't cheat, just study your heart out, okay? And when studying, I always would study at least in a week in advance before a test. or I would try to do that. This quarter, I discovered that Quizlet really helps me study. So if I have a study guide or something, I would just take the questions from my study guide and put it into the Quizlet with the answers, and they have flashcards on there. You can take a little practice test that helps you just study and whatever. And you can also share that with other people. Like if for example, there was a girl in my class who, she's the one who actually showed me Quizlet. She had made her study guide into like a little quiz and study thing. So she sent it to me, and then after she sent it to me, I did really good on my test, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna keep on doing this. So I downloaded Quizlet, and I would just do it myself after that. And I'm probably going to do that for the rest of my classes for the rest of the school year. And with that being said, make friends, okay? Or just talk to people, because you're going to need them. You're going to need help. You can't do it alone. You're gonna have questions, or someone just might understand something better than you. So those people in your class, get to know them, get their phone numbers, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Like I'm gonna bang your lines, sis. I'm gonna have a couple questions, and we're gonna help each other out. We're gonna study together, something, okay? We gonna get through this together. Use all your resources, your peers, tutors, libraries, articles, anything that's gonna help you. Use it. You're gonna need it. Last but not least, since nursing school is so time consuming, really try to remember to take care of yourself, okay? You're gonna be so wrapped up in schoolwork and studying and just working or whatever you're doing. Remember to take the time to just breathe, relax, take a bath, do a face mask, eat junk food, do whatever it is that helps you relax. Because if you're constantly stressed out or just worried about the next thing, it's not gonna work out. Do what you gotta do when you gotta do it. You know, if you need a break, take a break. That's fine. Because like I said, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. Like, it's a sacrifice. But it's a sacrifice for a bigger win. Like, I start my next semester actually, or quarter. I start April 6th. So it's coming up pretty fast. And since we're in quarantine, everything is now switched to online, so I have no lecture classes. And I'm pretty nervous because I was supposed to start my clinicals this quarter. And if you know anything about clinicals, like, you go to a site and you're there for damn near like 12 hours, and you know, you're working with patients, this, that, the third. And now they're saying that all of our labs or clinicals or simulations are going to be online. So I'm just very interested to see how that is all going to work out. Really, it's making me nervous. But I'm hoping the school might be a little bit easier since it's online, but I'm not entirely sure. I know sometimes I'd be feeling like I need a teacher right in front of my face. Like, I don't want to be in an online class. But sis is gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna pass this quarter. We're gonna move on to the third quarter, and before you know it, I'm gonna be a full-blown nurse. So stay tuned and watch a girl become a full-blown nurse. But that was all for this video. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can leave them in the comments, or follow me on Instagram, DM me, Snapchat me. I don't really care. Like, comment, subscribe. I will be posting more videos like this or related to nursing, so just stay tuned. Thanks for watching.